it to me it just seems like a bit set up, especially when again we link um, food to health. Um, Dr. Sebi, I mean, again, this man right here, we're talking about a guy who actually cured AIDS with a diet. You know what I mean? Cured herpes with a diet. He had had kind of found this code that that's just been around. I mean, I know we was talking about on the more spiritual level of how we're more connected with the earth, and most of the stuff that we're putting back in our bodies is things that we already have. Like caffeine is already in the brain. You're just adding more caffeine when you drink coffee or a Pepsi or something.
Right. All the drugs are basically already made in your system. Just
right.
We don't access it at the same level.
Right. There's certain ways that you have to access it or going about accessing it. I mean, naturally, when you wake up, that's the caffeine in your brain is what's kind of keeping you moving. You boost that caffeine by adding more caffeine. Like again, the minerals and stuff. Like the things that are in plants are some of the things that you need inside of your body. We're really closely connected with the earth, so why wouldn't the earth produce things that would heal us? I mean, this is just basic thinking on that. But we were talking about him curing AIDS, and it was mighty funny. On the AIDS, staying with that AIDS conversation, I remember this was around '92 when he had that court case, and people should look this up if y'all don't know anything about it. I know that Nick Cannon was supposed to be doing a documentary on it. I don't know if that was ever done. So if it is, somebody let me know in comments or respond to us or however y'all can. But because I would love to see it, I'm gonna be honest. If it's out there, I'm late. I've been under a rock, I guess. But I know that he was talking about doing it, and even if you don't see that documentary, at least take the time to research this man and see the things that he's done. But in '92, he had a court case where they were trying to try him for fraud because he was claiming that he's cured people of AIDS and herpes and things of that nature, and challenged him in order to prove that he wasn't a fraud, or at least bring in 5 patients that he can say was cured. Well, the thing was, he didn't only bring in 5. He brought in almost maybe a couple hundred, I think.
Right.
I'm paraphrasing this story or really just kind of summing the story up, but basically he brought in maybe a couple hundred and proved this case. They couldn't say that he was a fraud. I mean, these people were coming forth saying that they've been healed of certain illnesses that they were told were incurable. Some of it was cancer. But again, he'd done this with diets. But right after that, they kicked him out of the United States. Now, I also told you that it was some years later that another black man by the name of Dr. Boyd E. Graves had came out and said he had been cured of AIDS. But this was through medical research. The name of the medicine that was used in that was called Tetrasil. And you can look this up. It's a U.S. patent. You may have to look it up under U.S. patent if you Google search it. The video used to be prominent on YouTube, and I'll be honest with you, it's kind of hard to find nowadays. But the video of Dr. Boyd E. Graves talking about it is out there. I did find a copy of it. I just can't remember the name of the site that was on Google. But just follow that name or look for that name, and you should be able to find him. But he was also cured of AIDS, and he was speaking out about it. He was I think he was a naval officer, and he contracted the disease. And when he contracted it, basically, he went, through the procedures, went to the doctors, and, was trying to get cures, and they was asking to test something out on him, which was called Tetrasil, which contained silver was like the main ingredient for Tetrasil. And it was actually renamed later on as a preventative drug, I think it was called. I can't remember what the name of that one was called, but it was something with an I. But basically, Tetrasil was the main pill, and it was patented. I want to say it was around like 94 or 95. And he was advocating that they actually had a cure, and they weren't telling people about it. And I know if you're like me, you've been watching TV over the years, and you've been seeing the ribbons and, fight for the cure for AIDS when they patented this back in 1995. Not only that, you've also missed the fact that a man has already cured people of AIDS just through a simple diet. So when we talk about healthcare, and right now we're dealing with a current virus that's, I won't sit there and say it's not killing people because, that's been proven. I've known people personally who said that they've had family members, but I also, employ them to check and make sure that that's what it was, because if they were dealing with any other type of respiratory issues and they did catch that virus, there was a high likely chance to increase or speed that up. But even with that said, they did say George Floyd died of the coronavirus just because he had tested positive for the coronavirus when we already seen how he died. So, along with other evidence of that, being spoken of about, these attorney generals or doctors or whoever they may be that speak for the government talking about that even if you die in a car crash, if you tested positive coronavirus, that it was pretty much what the death certificate was going to say, which boosts numbers to like a high of unprecedented. You know what I'm saying? Like what's the real number here? You're saying 200,000. It could be anywhere from 10,000 people that died of this virus, too. It could be a smaller number, and that's not to say that the number may not even be closer to 200, but the whole point is who really knows if there's no actual facts tied behind what's being said.